Get ready for a jaw-dropping ride through one of Europe's most underrated gems. Imagine a landlocked country that feels like you've stepped straight into a fairy tale, complete with medieval castles, quirky traditions, and a dash of modern edge. Sounds like a daydream, right? Well, buckle up because we're about to reveal the top 10 reasons the Czech Republic should be on your must-visit list. Welcome back to Re-Inspired Adventures. I'm Chris, and let's get going. Number 10. Medieval charm and timeless architecture. The Czech Republic is often called the living museum of Europe, and for good reason. Many cities here look like they've jumped right out of a storybook. You can stroll down cobblestone streets lined with colorful buildings, step into centuries-old churches, and stumble upon hidden courtyards filled with history. During both World Wars, most parts of the country were spared from heavy bombing, which means its medieval structures remain gloriously intact. It's not all ancient, though. There's a cool mix of sleek modern design woven into the historic core. Even if you're not a history buff, it's impossible not to feel the magic of these old cities. Narrow alleyways, Gothic spires, and ornate bridges practically transport you back in time. Your camera roll will be overflowing with picture-perfect shots because, let's face it, every corner is Insta-worthy. Locals take pride in preserving the country's heritage, and you'll notice how clean and well-kept the streets are. This attention to detail extends even to the newer buildings, which fit in seamlessly with the centuries-old surroundings. If you've ever dreamed of living in a real-life fairy tale, the Czech Republic's timeless architecture will fulfill that wish in an instant. Number 9. Prague, Europe's vibrant heart. Prague isn't just another European capital, it's the main event. Sitting along the Vltava River, this city blends ancient charm with modern thrills. The Old Town area, with its famous astronomical clock, is a must-see, and let's not forget the iconic Charles Bridge that leads you straight to Prague Castle. Each statue and stone exudes an old-world vibe you won't find anywhere else. But this city isn't stuck in the past. The new side of Prague, especially the western side of the river, is packed with office buildings, modern apartments, and hip hangouts. Whether you're into museums, dance clubs, or cutting-edge art, Prague serves up something for every taste. One highlight is the Dancing House, a funky building that seems to twist and sway to an imaginary tune. Locals and tourists alike love snapping photos outside its wavy design. Despite its popularity, Prague manages to stay surprisingly comfortable, thanks to its well-organized neighborhoods like Prague 1, 2, and 5. It's easy to get around via public transport, so you can zip between historic sites and modern cafes without breaking a sweat. Visiting Prague is like enjoying two destinations in one, an ancient kingdom and a slick European cityscape. Truly a best-of-both-worlds experience. Number 8. Super accessible transportation. One of the Czech Republic's best-kept secrets, its top-notch public transportation. In Prague, you'll never feel crammed into a stuffy subway car or stuck waiting ages for the next train. The metro arrives about every 10 minutes, making your cross-city trips effortless. Plus, you won't have to push through any bulky turnstiles. Just remember to buy your ticket from the machines and validate it before you hop on. But that's not all. The tram system is another hero in Prague's public transport lineup. Trams glide through nearly every street, giving you a scenic ride and unbeatable convenience. They share the road with cars but always have the right of way, so if you're driving, keep your eyes peeled. Tickets are cheap too, often costing less than €1, which puts more money back in your pocket for exploring. Locals love how quick and efficient everything is, and tourists appreciate how easy it is to master the system. That means more time for enjoying the city and less time fussing over directions. Whether you're hopping on a tram to an old town cafe or speeding across town on the metro, you'll find this is one of the most hassle-free cities in Europe to explore. Number 7. The tricky currency situation. Here's a hot tip. Learn the local currency, the Czech koruna, if you don't want to lose cash on your trip. Since the Czech Republic isn't on the euro, many visitors make the mistake of exchanging money at the airport or using random ATM machines. That's a big no-no. These spots often charge sky-high fees or give horrible exchange rates, meaning you lose a good chunk of your money right away. Even though currency exchange offices in Prague might flash no commission signs, the rate they offer can be shockingly low. You might be missing out on hundreds of korunas for every 100 euros. And watch out for Euronet ATMs, which sneak in hidden fees that can cost you up to 20% extra. The result? You're left feeling shortchanged on what could be an otherwise affordable vacation. The good news is that if you plan ahead, you can steer clear of these traps. Use reliable bank ATMs, or find well-reviewed exchange spots. It's also smart to check online rates first, so you have a benchmark of what's fair. By being a bit cautious, you'll save enough to enjoy more Czech beer or maybe treat yourself to a cool souvenir. Number 6, surprising summer weather. Think summer in Europe means endless sunshine? Think again, because the Czech Republic can turn chilly and rainy even in June, July, and August. It's one of those places where you might start your morning in a t-shirt, but reach for a jacket by lunchtime when the skies turn gray. Locals know better than to trust any forecast, so they often carry a light sweater or an umbrella just in case. This unpredictable climate is one reason many Czechs and other Europeans head off to sunny Greece or Turkey for their summer holidays. They want to guarantee warm, beach-worthy weather. But don't worry, the Czech Republic still has plenty of bright, glorious summer days. You'll just want to stay flexible and maybe pack an extra layer so you won't be caught shivering during a sudden downpour. In fact, these swift changes can also be a plus if you enjoy variety. One moment you're basking in the sun at a park, the next you're ducking inside a cozy cafe during a light rain. It adds a dash of excitement to your day, keeping you on your toes. If you're prepared, the unpredictable weather simply becomes part of the Czech Republic's quirky charm. Number 5, the real cost of living. Here's where things get interesting. While salaries in the Czech Republic can sound pretty good when converted to euros or dollars, the reality for locals can be challenging. The minimum monthly salary is around 19,000 korunas, which is close to $750. Average gross earnings can reach 40,000 korunas, about $1,600. After taxes, many people take home somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000 a month if they have specialized jobs. However, rent can swallow a big chunk of your paycheck, especially in Prague. A small 1- or 2-bedroom place can cost around 25,000 korunas, $1,000 per month. Sharing a flat is more affordable, at roughly 8,000 korunas, but privacy might be limited. Combine that with everyday expenses, and you see why life here isn't exactly cheap. Despite these costs, Prague remains more budget-friendly than other major European capitals. You can still enjoy a lot without breaking the bank, like grabbing a beer for less than €1. But if you're earning Czech wages, high rents can sting. This balance of moderate salaries and rising living expenses means that many locals are cautious about spending. Nonetheless, the city's vibrant atmosphere and rich culture remain huge draws for both residents and expats. Number 4, freedom in lifestyle and beliefs. If you love a place where personal freedom takes center stage, the Czech Republic will wow you. People here can dress as they want, get tattooed from head to toe, and generally do their own thing without a second glance. It's common to see under 25s sporting all kinds of ink, and nobody bats an eye because it's all about self-expression. Another striking aspect is the country's high rate of atheism. For people aged 16 to 29, about 91% claim no religious affiliation, making the Czech Republic one of the most secular places in Europe. The communist era influenced this mindset, as religious practices were discouraged for decades. Today, that legacy lives on, and you'll find an easygoing attitude toward different beliefs or lack thereof. Of course, some Czechs are Christian or Catholic, but religion generally doesn't dominate public life the way it does in other countries. You're less likely to change someone's mind through religious arguments here. Czechs pride themselves on independence in how they think and live. This overall freedom sets the stage for a culture that respects individuality, whether it's about fashion, personal habits, or what you choose to believe. Number 3, the adult film industry. Ready for a surprise twist? The Czech Republic is a global heavyweight in the adult film industry. You might think that the US corners that market, But according to a 2019 study, the Czech Republic produces around 13% of all adult content worldwide, an impressive feat for a nation of only about 10.5 million people. Alongside Hungary, it's the top producer in Europe. Many Czech women enter this industry by choice, drawn by the promise of quick earnings and flexible work. It's a topic not often discussed openly, but once you dig a little, you'll find locals who know someone involved, be it a performer, producer, or camera operator. The culture here generally values personal freedom, so there's less stigma surrounding these career choices. Tourists might be oblivious to this side of Czech life, focusing on the beautiful architecture, nightlife, or beer scene. But if you stay around long enough, you could bump into someone who's a recognizable face in the business. While it might raise eyebrows for some, it's yet another example of how the Czech Republic's liberal approach to life has made it a unique and sometimes controversial player on the world stage. Number 2. Hockey obsession and other Czech passions. Here's something you might not expect. While many European countries live and breathe soccer, the Czech Republic is absolutely obsessed with ice hockey. The national team ranks among the best in the world, and Czech players often become legends in international leagues. One superstar is Jaromír Jágr, a name that still sparks excitement among fans. When hockey season kicks off, the entire nation tunes in. Other sports like basketball and soccer don't create the same frenzy. But there's a unique hobby that all generations share: mushroom picking. Known as the poor man's meat, mushrooms are a culinary staple in Czech homes. You'll often see families heading into forests to gather fresh fungi for soups and stews. It's a way to bond with nature and save some money at the same time. And let's not forget beer, which is practically the national drink. The Czech Republic consistently ranks near the top for beer consumption in Europe. It's cheaper than water in many places. Yes, you heard that right. Whether you're cheering on your favorite hockey team or chowing down on mushroom-packed dishes, you'll soon discover that Czech passions are all about flavor, fun, and plenty of local pride. Number 1. Epic must-sees and legendary stories. Finally, we can't wrap up this list without talking about the Czech Republic's incredible landmarks. Start with Prague's Old Town Square, where the astronomical clock draws crowds every hour for a charming little show. There's a legend that the king blinded the clock's creator so no one else could have a masterpiece like it. True or not, it adds drama to an already mesmerizing sight. Then head over to the Charles Bridge, once the sole crossing over the Vltava River. Its statues have mostly been replaced by replicas, but they're still a visual treat. Keep exploring, and you'll stumble upon the narrowest street in Prague, so slim that traffic lights are required to let people go one at a time. And don't miss the Lenin Wall, covered in graffiti honoring the late Beatles icon. Another fascinating spot is Prague's Jewish Quarter. Supposedly, Adolf Hitler planned to preserve it as a museum of an extinct race, which is why it was left untouched during World War II. Whether legend or fact, this area is filled with stories that speak to Prague's deep, complex history. In the end, you'll discover that every corner of the Czech Republic has something special to reveal. And that's a wrap on what it's like to live and visit in the Czech Republic. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing adventures. See you next time.